It's Jigglypuff here, folks, commentating a set between 1998 Mercedes-Benz at Lekstaz. Let's see. Oh, it's a Medi lead. I love Medicham. My favorite Pokemon in the format, folks. And that punch is just one-hit Skarmory. That's choice-banded Medicham to do such damage. One of the most frightening Pokemon in the format. Safely switches into a Swampert to thwart Aerodactyl. And straight back into Medi. And that Shadow Ball's dealing significant damage. Reflect is not what I anticipated, but that's gonna allow a switch into Magneton. We know that this Medi is locked into Shadow Ball and is thus in trouble. We've got some maneuvers happening. Lekstaz healing up in the face of danger. It's a special Tyranitar. Lekstaz thought, I'm safe in the face of Hidden Power Bug. I've got to reflect up. It's Crunch, folks. But the pursuit mind game has occurred, and Lekstaz gets the better end of the deal. That time switching out on the Crunch. Well maneuvered by Lekstaz there. That was well done. Oh, this could easily have HP Grass, and it does, and it's dropped the Swampert. That's a frightening situation for your Swampert. Lekstaz with a bold choice. And Mercedes-Benz going arrow on the enemy's arrow. HP flying or bug on that Celebi. Sniped. Getting sniped. And that double edge is doing pretty significant damage, but with a protect, Mercedes-Benz will chip heal out of range of a subsequent double edge. Whoa, it's another pursuit Tyranitar. Did not elect to use a water move. Would have had Torrent. A Hydro Pump would have KO'd. Maybe Mercedes-Benz lacks Hydro Pump. Or didn't want to risk the miss. But this is looking over for Medicham and friends, folks. That's HP flying on arrow. And this Metagross has a free opportunity to select Meteor Mash. If it's Agility Gross, it's over. That miss doesn't matter. You can click it again and you're fine. You did miss again. That mattered. But you're non-burned. You've blown up. Sick of missing. Just blow up. No problem. Now this is a bit dubious because Arrow could honestly flinch you to death, and it didn't happen that way though, and the Surf connects. Arrow had a shot there. You could speed type as enemy Arrow, flinch everything to death. Exploding on your meta is a bit dangerous, but it worked out. Well played. That was an exciting game. I mean, the banned Medicham. One of those Pokemon, and I mean, it's vulnerable to sand chip damage. That's the problem running a choice band on Pokemon that aren't sand immune, but if you guess right, I mean, you just delete anything. Medicham with pure power and choice band. Unbelievably powerful. Pivots in Skarm on the Tyranitar and is subsequently forced out by a Gengar. Here's Blissey. Taking a burn, getting chipped down. That was a dangerous switch into Skarmory. A Thunder Wave could have come out. I suppose it's uncommon to click Thunder Wave there in the face of a Taunt or other such nonsense. Does Lekstaz have a Blissey of their own? Goes for a Toxic on the Starmie. I don't mind that play. Probably going to go Gengar and Spin Block. If this is Pursuit Tar, that's gaming. It was double gaming from Lekstaz to in fact spike up. Spiking up in the face of a Spinner. I guess you've Toxic'd it. It's likely exiting to Natural Cure itself. I think that was a Pursuit Tar trying to catch the Gengar. Lekstaz did not go to Spin Block. Made a layer of spikes. Sorry, let me just reset this visual glitch by doing this. Now you can see the spike on the field. Forgive the hiccup. Forgive the hiccup. Gengar with a well-positioned Will-O-Wisp. Nothing can really come in nicely here. Oh, Blissey, crucial dodge on that Will-O-Wisp. That is enormous. That burn would have dealt significant chip damage, especially alongside Taunt, but Lekstaz with a nice Taunt keeping Blissey low. We'd honestly be in a different world if that Wisp hit. That Blissey would be on death's door. Doesn't quite work out that way. And Mercedes-Benz with a bold Salamence switch in against Tyranitar. Perhaps expecting an alternative decision. But Ned gets a Brick Break, putting Tyranitar into range of death. It'll survive one more spike, so you can use Tyranitar for something one additional time. Is this Starmie faster than Gengar? It is. Some defensive Starmies... Wait, why didn't you surf? You're faster. That was a misstep, I feel like. Or is it... Mercedes-Benz was in fact double switching to get ahead of this Blissey, perhaps. So, that was interesting. I would have just surfed there for sure. But getting this Tyranitar in is honestly perhaps better. What do I know? What does Jim know? Mercedes-Benz. Speeding to the finish line of this game. It's a Moltres Last from Lekstaz. And a Toxic has just deleted this Moltres. I'm surprised there was no Protect. There was no reason not to Protect there, right? Unless you anticipate a double switch to Gengar or something like that. That must have been what that was, because it was a switch to Pursuit Tyranitar. Alright. If Moltres has Overheat, then Blissey could be finished off here, but barring Overheat... Oh! It actually still lived! Wow. Imagine that. That must have been a roll. I feel like Overheat had a chance to kill there. Damn. Once again, if that Will-O-Wisp hit earlier on this, Blissey would be in a different world. Blissey would be chipped into range that of Flamethrower, probably, from Moltres. But now it's back to full health. I mean, you see how much difference that makes. Wisp isn't... You can't expect Wisp to hit every time, though. It's one of those moves that misses frequently. Only 75% accuracy. Now, Starmie needs to land this spin, but there's a Gengar up. It does finish off Gengar with a Surf, though. I forgot Gengar was actually quite low in range of Surf, so... This Starmie can, in fact, spin nicely, and even chip down the enemy Skarmory. Mercedes-Benz in a commanding position now, with not a spike to worry about. Imagine that. T-Waves on the Blissey. Blissey can sometimes use Thunderbolt, but with Seismic Toss revealed, it's unlikely. Usually Ice Beam is the solo attack at the end there. So that Blissey has a way to handle Dugtrio. So Mercedes-Benz is not in too much danger from any nonsense from Blissey. Lekstaz could Toxic this incoming Starmie, get ahead of it. Just opted for the spike. Can now go for a spin block or a... Probably clicked Toxic there. Trying to pressure this Starmie. But... Starmie's a rough matchup here for Lekstaz now. Mercedes-Benz stabilized firmly. Getting rid of those 3 layers that Lekstaz worked so hard to set. And now Starmie can pretty cleanly just... and it's a forfeit. Yeah, I agree with that forfeit. Even though you got 6 Pokemon up, it's difficult for you to ever establish spikes and get your foot back in the door. You're in a rough spot. GG's to the fellows. I loved that game 1. That was explosive. This game was a little bit unluckier for Lekstaz, but as I said, Will-O-Wisp is one of those moves that you can't be too mad when you miss Will-O-Wisp. It does happen. It does happen, but you got to be a little bit upset if you're Lekstaz. Moltres could have actually broken through. If you break Blissey, this becomes a game. It was not a game, unfortunately, when Blissey healed all the way back to 100. Anyway, thank you to the donators for your continued support. We're beyond 2,800. Isn't that beautiful? We're on a fast track to 3,000. Let's make it happen, folks. If you donate, you're on this screen, and I'll read out your messages. Thank you. Goodbye.